Hey champions, it's your realtor with results, Phillip Nunez. And today I'm having a conversation about the move-up sale, meaning you have your house and you're ready for that upgrade. Now we're seeing a lot of homeowners do this in the last few years because values have increased throughout Southern California. Now there might be a few concerns that you have. Number one is you have to sell in order to buy. You need to use the proceeds from your house in order to purchase the next house. The next concern might be, well, what happens if I do sell my house and I'm in escrow and I can't find the next property? Now, those are valid concerns. Here's a suggestion that I always recommend to all my clients. Number one is play it out all on paper, meaning pretend that you have sold your house. How much would you net? In order to find that out, you would contact a professional real estate agent and they would give you a net sheet that gives you all the money that you would walk away with after the sale of your house. Now, based on that number, you also have to reach out to a mortgage lender and find out how much do you qualify for after you sell this house, how much do you qualify for the next purchase. And this is a pretty easy process. It would take me about 24 to 48 hours. As long as I know your address, know the condition of your home, and I know how much you owe on the property, then I could easily give you a net sheet. And the same goes for the lender. If you give them all the information that they require, I'm sure you'd be able to get a qualification within 24 to 48 hours. So let's go into 3 processes in which you can land on. The first process is, we'll call this number 1. This is your house, right? Now you put this on the market and within 15 to 21 days, it is sold and it is in escrow, right? So you go into escrow within 15 to 21 days. Now, one of the things that we're going to ask this buyer of your property is to do 2 things. Number one is that they give you an escrow of 45 to 60 days. Why do you want that? Because you need time in order to go find property number 2, your upgrade. And if they're highly motivated about buying your home, an extra 15 or 30 days is not a big deal. The second thing that we're going to do is we're going to make sure that the sale of your house is contingent upon you finding your next house. Meaning we will not be able to close on your property until we find property number 2. This way, you are not stressed out about finding the next property. You'll always be protected. Now, it'll take another 15 to 21 days to find property number 2. Again, if you played it out on paper, you know what the inventory is like out there. You probably already seen some properties that fit the mold of what you're looking for. So this should be a fairly easy process, right? Then you get into escrow with property number 2 on a 30-day escrow. Now, here's one thing that I want you to pay attention to. Because you're already in escrow here, you created leverage for property number 2 to accept your offer. Because when that seller sees that you're already in escrow, they know you're fully committed to closing this deal. So you'll come from a place of strength. Now, going back to the initial asking for 45 to 60 day escrow here, well, if you add 15 days here and you add 15 days here plus a 30-day escrow, you're going to be right around 45 to 60 days. And you close concurrently. So this is scenario number 1. Number 2 is your home goes on the market or not, and you immediately start looking for property number 2. Now, could this be done? Yes. Is it recommended? Well, you lose a little bit of leverage when your house is not in escrow, right? Number two wants to know that you're going to close escrow. So how do you do that? Well, if they haven't received any offers, then you probably can create some leverage by sending an offer, because they would rather have an offer than no offer at all. Or if they're receiving multiple offers, how can you show strength with your offer? You'd probably have to submit a strong offer by increasing the price that they're asking, increasing the offer that from what they're asking, right? But it can be done. And then you have to ask for probably a 45 to 60 day escrow again, because you still have to sell your property, right? So this one is not as powerful, but it's done every day. So I wouldn't say stray away from this. It's just another way of doing it. Number three is your property is it's almost like a regular transaction. You go through the 30-day escrow period. However, at the close of escrow, you ask the buyer of your property, to give you a 30 to 60 day rent back. Meaning, after you close of escrow, you're renting your house back from the new buyer for 30 to 60 days. But now you've netted the money from the sale, so it brings strength to you as you start looking for properties out in the open market. And again, if you play this out on paper, you know there's going to be inventory in the market, so you'll be able to find your property. Again, we see this every day. Every scenario is different. But there's going to be a variation of one of these that will probably fit the mold of what you need to do. Now, if you have any questions about this process, if there are any other concerns that I might have not addressed here, please feel free to reach out to me directly or comment on the comment box below. And I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video.